You just need a little light, like when y'all go live.
You want to tell them that we got somebody out of the comments? And
Yes.
into the...
Yep. Someone out of the comments and here at the table.
And now, on with the show.
We're doing it live.
Here we are.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it.
We'll do it live.
And hey,
Guess who we got?
Who we got? You want to show him?
Carrion motherfucking Curse.
so we are joined by Brian and
John Michael.
John Michael from Carrion Curse.
Yes, we are 2/3 of Carrion.
Local Tallahassee band.
So, introduce yourselves and what do you guys do for the band? What do you play? Well, obviously, we all know what Brian does.
I think everybody around here knows what I do.
Yeah, every time we get on stage, you won't shut the fuck up. He's screaming all the time. I am John Michael. I'm lead guitar.
And then, of course, we have the singer.
Yeah.
So, who are we missing? Who's missing?
Drummer,
Other guitar.
other rhythm guitar / songwriter, wrote most of the last 2 albums,
Oh, yeah.
and bass player.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool dudes. Just
We're
don't
the
live
only
as close.
only ones that live in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I
That's
didn't realize
that's
that.
why I was like, dude, you gotta come do this with me.
Well, I like this kind of shit, anyways.
Right.
Yeah, I
I
don't
love this
know.
stuff.
What is with the trend of like people living out of town but still being in bands? Is that like a new thing? With
Well,
Skype and shit?
to be in my band, it is.
I mean, I think
Is that a requirement?
Not no. It evolved that way over the years.
but some of the bigger bands are like international, like with Periphery. Nolly was in Periphery for a while, and I think he still produces and records and writes bass for them, but he lives in the UK. That's
Holy
like,
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's insane. I mean, you know, if you really want to be in a band and you don't have people around, figure it out. You know,
Touche.
you can if you got the cash to have transportation or
I was
get there
about
somehow.
to say, if you have enough money to be able to to transport
Yeah.
yourself, I mean, why not?
Well, the
Like
the
nothing.
thing about people that do this kind of shit is, you know, we're crazy about it.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah, can we like drop F-bombs?
Yep.
And stuff?
Fucking
Yeah.
little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
This one's cool.
Okay. I don't know. 'Cause
We did one last week where the guy was like wanting it to be kind of kid friendly, so we were like,
No, all of
Yeah, have
our.
you seen our guest list?
yeah. I mean, I know he don't know, but I know.
next guest, Ron
We've
Jeremy.
we've had some pretty colorful characters.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
seen
Tongue twister.
some.
Yep.
I know just about all these guys. So
Yeah.
over the years being in this town playing music.
Well, I've gotten kind of friendly with you.
Yeah.
Oh really? Oh.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
not supposed to say that live. Not live.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I'm like kind of, what's the word? Outgoing.
Yeah.
That's the word. I'll hit up anyone. I don't
Yep.
care. I'll reach out.
And what's funny is I had a profile picture of me with a mic, and you sent me a message and said, "Hey, I saw a mic in your picture. What do you do?" And whenever
Yep.
I brought up, that's how we started
Yep.
like talking, because you were like, I was like, "Oh, I'm doing a podcast." You're like, "No way. I was thinking about starting one too." And you were like, "Well, what's yours gonna be about?" I was like, "Music," and you're like, "Well, shit, so is mine."
Hey.
And it just kind of went from there.
Well-
Hey, this is not a competition.
Nope, not at all.
Man, this is the real deal. So it was more of like a passing affection for me, and like
Right.
I might still do it at some point. But my first interview was with a friend of mine who was took a major part in the Hong Kong riots for like she was there the whole time, like year and a half.
I remember you telling me about her.
I don't want to get like too into the politics of it.
Right.
You know, if you want to know what I think about that, you can figure out some other way. But yeah, she was there for like a year and a half, and like this girl's a certified badass, man. Like she's got bigger nuts than I do. And we did like a 4-hour interview, and then I went back to the files, and half of it was corrupted. And
Damn it!
Oh,
Fuck.
no.
We've dealt with a little bit of that
we
ourselves.
did. Oh,
Well,
God, yeah.
it's hard to like get her to have like that much of a window because she's Mandarin Chinese, and like culturally on a cultural level, like those people stay busy. They work and work and work and work and work their fingers to the bone or whatever to the bone.
Yeah.
And I had a 4-hour window to have an interview with her. It's gonna be like months before I get another chance because she's so fucking busy.
Damn, man, we've definitely dealt with that. There have been times that we sat down to record,
Don't do
that.
Oh.
But there have been times we sat down to record, and I sent them a message, and I
Should have
sent
brought
Jeremy
a fidget
message.
spinner.
I have one, but I was like, Jeremy, you're not gonna believe this. We got to redo this. And I sent Rob a message, said, you're not gonna believe this, but we have to redo this. Like, it didn't record, and they were like, what? And like, it was a whole thing.
Yeah,
like,
and then I ended up going to your house
Yep.
to re-record it, and that didn't record
Nope.
either. And we were like, fuck it, just put something out.
Yep.
The first thing in your head every
Fucking
time
Zoom.
that sort of thing happens is motherfucker.
Yes.
The first 2 words in your head.
Don't ever
always.
use Zoom. Sorry,
Oh,
sorry.
yeah. Well, we use Skype because it's decentralized,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, this like, I don't want to get too far into this, but like Chinese government tracks the internet, and
Yeah.
blah blah
Yep.
blah. And Zoom
We had
is,
this conversation.
I believe, owned by a Chinese national. No hate towards Chinese people, just putting that out there. But
Just hate towards you.
yeah, well, you know, she was in sort of a dangerous situation, and you know, she didn't want any problems with her family or anything. She had a voice changer, so we use Skype because I think Skype is decentralized. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I heard that too. So I know that you have been around for a hot minute.
Long time.
Long fucking time. How long have you been in the music community here?
I started playing with my first band. Well, not my first band. The first band I was in was with Ed and Jason from Stronghold
Oh yeah.
and Rick from
That's a good
Solid
band.
Ink, and
Mhm.
we had that band. It was called Breathe, and that ran for about 2, maybe 3 years. And the only highlight of that was we got to open up for Soulfly at Floyd.
What?
Nice.
That is pretty cool.
That is pretty
And
cool.
then
That is
shortly
legitimately
after
cool.
that, we recorded like one song with DJ from Presence, which I have on a hard drive somewhere back at the house. I think Rick has it, and I've given it to Ed. But
That's awesome.
after that, we
Your life was over.
no, that band, kind of fell apart, and that's
Right.
when they started Stronghold Up. And
Yeah.
Were you in Brigand at one point?
I started that.
Okay, I thought so. So- I have genuinely been looking forward to having you guys on. You know, you and I, dare I say, have known each other, or at least
while.
known of each other
Yeah.
for quite some time. I want to say the last time I saw you, you were jamming with Jay Daniel.
Oh man,
What was that? Beelzebub
no.
or Beelzebong? Excuse me.
Yeah, no, that was just jamming. We never really formed anything, and like shit. I'm pretty sure he hates my guts.
He hates everybody.
Yeah. Well, he says some pretty fucked up shit to me.
Yeah,
And then his wife, I guess,
Felicia.
like, she had to message me. She was like, so sorry. And I haven't really talked
that's
or
awkward.
seen them since. So, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not crazy.
Anyhow, the point being, I know you've been in this scene for quite some time,
Dude,
so
I've seen it. I've seen it in its heyday, and I've seen it through its bad times, its good times.
definitely.
So, yeah.
So how many years ago was that?
Well, shit. I started going out to shows probably 99
Oh wow.
when I was like 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was like, Breathe was like 2002. So, you know, I was,
Fucking boomer.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, right. And, you know, and then Brigand was like, we formed in like 07. And then I was in the band until about 2010.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And-
remember Brigham.
Yeah. Me too.
I think
Is
a
that
lot
when
of
I saw
people do.
you? No, I
No,
didn't
no,
see
no,
you with
you-
Brigand. I
you-
saw Brigand before.
I want to say I saw you guys with 27 South
Oh yeah,
at one point, at least once.
oh yeah. We used
Yeah.
to play with them regularly.
Yeah,
Where was that at? Big Daddy's?
I was thinking it was
Big
at Big Daddy's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Daddy's.
Yep.
Rest in peace, Rob.
R.I.P. Yep. Yep.
Wow.
Still kind of sad about that one. He was a good dude.
Yeah, he definitely brought us. That's one thing I regret is like if I was where I was at in life now back then, I would have been at like every show
Yes.
at Big Daddy's.
Yep.
I could afford to do it now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was broke ass bastard for the longest time, man. Like shit.
One of my very first shows was at Big Daddy's, and I doubt we brought anybody to the bar
Yeah.
at all, and he still paid us $100. I wasn't expecting to get paid jack shit.
Damn.
I had no expectations to be paid anything.
That was back in generous times.
Yes, yes.
Shit.
Kind of like what.
You guys got paid?
Yeah.
No, he paid us $100.
You guys are getting paid?
And no one showed up.
And,
That's
and,
amazing.
and this is like my very first fucking show ever.
That might have been
first-
the reason.
First show ever. And I sincerely doubt that we brought anybody to the bar at all. And I didn't know we were going to get paid anything. So
Well, yeah.
and when he put $100 in our hand, I was like, what? Okay.
Well.
That's pretty cool.
Your tab's 150, so
Yeah.
Fork
Cough
it
it up.
over.
Right.
Yep.
That's crazy. So how did all of you guys meet to form Carrion?
Well, all right. So
You want me to say?
you obviously remember Six.
Yes.
So shortly after Six broke up,
Mm-hmm.
I went to John and was like, "Hey, dude, you want to play some heavy shit with me?" And
John
he
was like, "Fuck yeah."
"Sure, yeah."
Yeah.
And so I hit up Freddie because I was in Driven,
Mm-hmm.
and like I was like, "Freddie, you want to play some heavy shit, man?" And so we got together, and this was like 14,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when we formed me, Freddie, John, and then like the guitarist and bass player that was in Driven.
Okay.
And that was the first lineup of Carrion. That's like on the album, the first album. And then went through some member changes. We picked up Dale.
Right.
And then we went through more member changes, had a bass player here, didn't have one there, you know. And we did that for a while. And then finally in 2020, right as the shit was starting to hit the fan,
Right.
things were not working with us and Dale. Like I could tell he didn't have his heart all the way in there. He had went through a divorce and then got remarried and started a band with his new wife, and that he was all about that.
Right.
And I basically, you know, like, dude, you know, he was like last one to show up, first one to leave, you know, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, dude, man, just quit.
Right.
Like, we'll find another, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know. And so basically I kind of motivated him to shit and get off the pot, and he got off the pot. And right after that was when the pandemic hit, like right around March and shit. And like, it's funny, like my birthday was the day everything started shutting the fuck down. And like,
Nice birthday.
I know, right?
Happy birthday to
I know.
you.
And that was like the last time I saw some of my family members for like a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And after that, this was when John was like, "Hey man, I can't do it anymore."
Yeah.
And so he stepped down, you know. props to John. Thank you for everything you did with us. I love you, man. And so we were at that point stuck looking for. It was basically at that point it was just me and Freddie.
Oh wow.
And so we were like, well, I'll just keep looking. Yeah. And my buddies, Steven and Jonathan, they were in Grimoire at the time. Steven is Grimoire.
Yeah.
He was like, hey man, I'll come play with y'all. So I was like, all right, cool. So, there's two solid guitar players. And then he was his bass player at the time, Jonathan, who's now my bass player. He was like, I'll come play too. So there we go. We had a bass player and two guitars. Now I need to find a drummer. So lo and behold, I ran into my old drummer from. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Everybody wants to tap the tables all the
And then
time.
you want to apologize.
It feels so nice.
Sorry. Well, now it's subconsciously in my head now.
It's
Right.
so satisfying.
So lo and behold, it was like a first Friday or some shit. Somewhere I ran into my old drummer from My Apparition. If y'all
Okay,
ever remember that
yeah,
band.
I do.
And
Holy shit. Yeah.
he had happened to move back in town and was like, whatever. I had his number. So I hit him up and I was like, hey man, you want to play some heavy shit? And he's like, all right, come on over. So we had one practice at his place.
Right.
And it could have worked, had we put the time in, but it wasn't really up his alley. It wasn't his thing.
Right.
So but he had mentioned to me, he was like, hey man, you should just put out a Craigslist ad. And so that's what I did. And Steve, our current drummer, hit me up on it. He responded to it and was like, hey man, I play drums. And so I was like, he lives in Waycross, which is
Holy shit.
yeah,
That's a few
that's out
hours
there.
away.
yeah. It's a drive.
Holy shit.
So I don't know why he wanted to do it, but he wanted to come play with us, and I'm really thankful that he does because he's an awesome drummer.
Oh yeah.
And so
Yeah, he's a monster.
I was
man.
like, well, hey man, don't want to waste anyone's time. Can you make a video? So he made a video playing one of our songs, and he could play it. So we're like, all right, well, I have a kit. So really, we can practice at my house. I have a kit and a PA. We just meet over here, and so that's how we, that
Wow.
formed the lineup that did the Curse on the World album.
Okay.
And so in 2020, I basically I had a band, didn't have a band, and reformed a band.
Holy shit.
Reformed it all in like 1 year. And we already had the songs kind of written, so all these guys really had to do is like learn them, and then we recorded the album. And so that's how that came about. And then 2021, we played a couple of shows with Steven. And then with his work schedule and whatnot, it wasn't working out with him in the band. So he basically dropped from us, and we played a couple shows as a 4-piece. And this guy happened to come out to a show. He actually saw us when we opened up for Gore Guts and at the Wilbury back in 2017. He was actually there in the mosh pit. So it was like one of those meant to be kind of things.
I was a fan of Carrion Curse before I joined. I was like, because I've been crazy into metal since I was like 12. Because my older brother is really cool, and I was listening to some shit, and he dragged me out to the car, and it was I think 2007.
Mm-hmm.
It was Thanksgiving, and he was like tired of hearing me listening to whatever I was listening to. It's like, man, fuck off from that shit. And so we went in his car, and he like dragged me out, and he like showed me a bunch of shit. Showed me like Pantera, Kill Switch Engage, Death Clock, nice Dr. Roxo tattoo.
Yeah.
By the way, Metalocalypse is my shit. So the thing that like really captured me
Mm-hmm.
was he had like the Pantera DVD from like the greatest hits or whatever.
Oh,
Yes.
they had all the music
The
videos.
home
Music
DVD.
videos.
I had that.
Yes.
And we had the tube TV or whatever because we were like broke and shit. He threw it in the DVD player. No, he threw it in the Xbox. It was the original Xbox.
Yeah.
Threw it in.
You had to have the little attachment thing
Yeah.
to be able to play DVDs.
And I saw it, and like, keep in mind, I started playing in like 4th grade. I was like 10. I was a little kid. I was in like Green Day and shit. I looked at these music videos, and I saw
Dime.
playing these solos. I had no idea this was possible on the instrument. It blew my fucking mind, man. I was melted. I rewatched. He just gave it to me. He's like, fuck it, dude. You watch it more than I do. I rewatched that DVD probably like 200 times.
Yep.
And I just couldn't fucking believe it. And, from there, I was like super hooked into metal. And like I had a couple lessons with Mickey Abraham when I was like 16, which, all the love to this guy. He showed me a lot of stuff that I used. I only took a few lessons with him, but he was like, yeah, when I was your age, I was super into like metal stuff too, and I wanted to play real fast, but then I grew up and started playing bluegrass. And by the way, I'm not throwing shade. Like, guy's a fucking excellent musician. Excellent.
To play bluegrass,
Listen,
you have to be.
People underestimate bluegrass.
Yes.
Like, fuck off, man. Bluegrass, like that is some serious skill and precision. Excellent music, but I never grew out of it. I still play metal, and Dimebag is
Not for me.
still
What?
he's still my favorite guitar playing wise. At least, so my favorite living player is Jeff Loomis. But
Okay.
Nice. Niall.
Nice.
man, Loomis is just unbelievable.
Yes.
And he's a super sweet guy. I met him in person too.
Yeah.
Keith Merrow as well. He's very nice.
He's an arch enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, he's an arch enemy now.
And
Yes.
he doesn't get to write songs, and that is a
Bullshit.
serious shame.
We'll pay you.
Loomis
to not write.
is one of the best songwriters in metal history, but that's
But we'll,
I will die on
We'll pay
that
you to
hill.
not write for our band.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
You just
Come on,
played my
Michael
part.
Emmett.
I know,
Come
right?
on, Michael.
Well, we do have some comments that have come through. You want to check them out? real
Oh,
quick?
cool.
We got Tammy in the comments. She said, "What's up, everyone?"
Tammy, what up?
We got.
What up,
Mark.
Josh?
He said, "What's up? That's my nephew Brian, lead singer Carrier's kick-ass
Oh, that's
band."
my uncle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we got Shannon. Shannon's back. She
Shannon.
said, "Hey y'all, happy to get a chance to watch live again. We're happy you're watching live." And then we got Josh. He said, "I like this kid. What up, B?" That's cool. So, what was that your inspiration for basically picking up guitar?
No. So the way I ended up picking up guitar was I was in the 4th grade, and I had a crush on this little girl, and
It's always a girl.
yeah, well, my whole life I had heard is like, musician or girls love musicians, and I was like,
Yeah, for the most part.
sweet. And then it didn't work, and I was like, yeah, I'm not really into you anymore. And she's like, sweet, because I was kind of a weirdo, and I was annoying as shit. I'm not even gonna pull that punch. Taylor, if you're listening, sorry about that.
Shout out Taylor.
But yeah, I was like, fuck it, I don't really care about this girl anymore. But this guitar thing is cool.
Right.
And I had grown up. My father was in a couple bands. One of them was like an AC/DC cover band where the one of the keyboard players from
Right.
the Parliament Funkadelic
Yes.
Yes.
was playing guitar. It was called Church of High Voltage, and they were looking for a singer, and I think the bass player. Don't crucify me, Troy, if I fuck this up. I think the bass player was a friend of my father's and asked if he could rehearse at his place, and they did that.
Wait, the bass player from Parliament?
No, the bass player from Church of High Voltage.
Oh, okay.
and they were looking for a singer.
I was gonna say
Right.
Bootsy Collins wanted you to play for him.
Oh no, we're not that cool.
Were
So
these the same people that were in polyester
I don't think so.
pinstraps? Y'all remember?
Troy might have been.
You remember that band? Okay.
Okay, so Church of High Voltage came to rehearse. I was like 7 or 8 at in one of my spare rooms that my dad had, and my dad just started singing, and the guitar player was like, begged him to be in the band because my father is a fantastic singer.
Nice.
And I grew up. I went to a lot of live shows. My dad did, and he did like Mike Thaxton and the Southern Stars at some point, which was a different group. It was like Southern rock, country kind of stuff. So I saw a lot of that, and in 10, the Girl Crush thing happened, and then that didn't work out. I kept playing, and then 12 years old, my awesome older brother Chris showed me Pantera, and then that was it. Now I want to shred.
Nice.
I can't shred like Dimebag, and I doubt
Nobody
I'll ever be
can.
able
I
to.
didn't realize you were a younger brother.
Yes, I actually have 3 older siblings.
Oh, fuck.
See, now everybody learns shit.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
Something
how
new
it's
every
done.
day.
no shade of the other 2, but
Because he's like a little brother to me.
Just gives out that little bro vibe.
Yeah.
Chris showed me,
And I'm
Heavy
an
metal.
older bro.
and
Yep, you and I both.
Nice.
Brian, what are your influences?
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Finally, somebody got it right.
motherfucker, we both too lame for that shit.
Yeah, no, I did. That was my youth. Like, I've made it past all that. This, drugs didn't kill me. The sex didn't kill me. I'm still doing the rock and roll.
Sex wasn't very good, I guess.
People might come in the comments, so.
No property damage or nothing.
No, nothing that long. But as far as influences, man, shit. For me in general, or like the band?
You.
In general.
Oh, me in general.
I get it. I hate that question too.
I like everything that was cool in the 80s, everything that was cool in the 90s. I like some things that were lame in the 80s.
Right.
It's a hodgepodge. A lot of unsolved mystery type shit. I like ghosts and aliens and
I'm here for it.
If I really could, I wish I could have like my own ghost show, like, except it'd incorporate the band.
Okay.
So it'd be like the band, like when we're not on tour, like we go to haunted locations and
I'm totally down for that shit.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen the TV show Supernatural, but that just totally reminded me of the like little ghost spacers that they have on.
Well, it'd be like Ghost
You know what I'm
Adventures,
talking
but
Oh, yeah.
it would be like Ghost Adventures, but we actually play in a band
Well,
instead of look like we play.
Can we
So
play a
little
sold
bit of
out show for
Scooby-Doo, a little bit of
ghosts?
Josie and the
Right?
Pussycats type thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, something
sour.
so sour. I like
he
turtles.
said I like turtles.
A heart lamp.
I like turtles as
Or do you
well.
love lamp or you just say?
Oh, I love lamp.
And he said, "Sup, y'all? Hi, Jason. What's up?" He said, "Oh, Mark's in the chat.
He got me
Say-
into Tool.
He got me into Tool,
Look at that.
but I don't
That's
think he's still into them."
I like early Tool.
Okay. And then Shannon said, "Yes, I'm down for a ghost tour." Me too, Shannon. You need to like link up.
We play sold out shows for ghosts.
Right?
What are they gonna do? Leave?
They might start throwing things.
I am here for it. I just want to be there when that happens. I have to. Be there for
Did you get that on film?
that.
Did you see that? Did you see what just happened to me, man?
What was that? Like a newspaper article? Like some bride or groom gets hit in the head with a flying dildo or
No,
some
yeah,
shit.
I've seen
And just
that.
start chucking one of those at us. You're like, all right, cut the song. We're done.
So For those of you who are watching that does not know Carrion Curse, you want to show them a little sneak peek of what they're going to get on Saturday?
Yeah, let's see a little something.
See a little something?
I still haven't seen this yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither.
It's the third one
Let
down.
me see what happens when I hit this button right
Ooh.
here.
It's called Keeper of Grounds.
Woo!
Fuck
Boom.
yes.
We're back.
And we're back.
Ah.
So, a little sneak peek of what everybody's going to get on Saturday at the barbecue. Are you excited for barbecue?
I'm excited.
Yeah?
Yeah, so excited.
It's going to be badass. I can't wait to see you guys on stage. So, what was your most favorite show that you've ever played?
Probably what you just showed.
Wow.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was like we got to play both nights, and it was sold out both nights,
Hell yeah.
and we sold a lot of merch, and it was cool because we had a fan that flew in from Dublin,
No.
Wow.
and he was there to see Death, but he knew about us and actually had our first two albums, and like
Shit.
was like, "Will you sign?" You know.
That is awesome.
So like, yeah, we got fans like actually around the world, not just in Tallahassee.
Right.
Not
Like,
just around Capital Circle.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like,
We got fans outside of Capital Circle.
mhm.
All right.
And he's back.
And he's back. So,
I know you missed me.
totally.
You
So,
back, baby dick.
It's like a grain of rice, man.
so we asked Brian what his favorite show was. He said the one that we played. Is that the same for you?
No, it's
Oh.
not. I like that one a lot. That was really fun. I had a lot of fun. My favorite show that I've played with Carrion Curse is the Tallahassee show.
Oh, the early December.
At the Warrior. And I specifically want to give props to Brian on this because, like, Tallahassee shows a lot of times are very dismal,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I came to the show. We were like playing on an outside stage, and like I didn't know how cool the stage was beforehand. I'm like, man, I hope this doesn't suck. Stage was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
There was a great turnout.
Shout out to Chris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Chris.
Shout out to
man.
Chris. Yes.
It was past midnight, and we still had a huge crowd that came specifically to see us. I think my best friend is like he's a hobbyist winemaker, and he makes fantastic wine that has a high alcohol content.
Ooh.
Shit's like jet fuel, and you know, I'm here, I'm on my home turf, and I think in my drunken rage I said something. I'm on my home turf, motherfucker. Something like that. So I think I nailed like a bottle and a half of this jet fuel wine. Like got up there, I was barefoot the whole time. I had so much fun. I fucking nailed the performance. I was
Oh yeah.
moving around, headbanging, flipping shit. My friend set it up. A couple of his friends like threw their underwear on stage.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we like it was clean. We put it on her head and shit.
Yeah.
It was that's definitely the fondest memory I have playing.
Dude,
with
haunted
Carrion Curse.
though.
Oh my god, man! Don't even bring I'm haunted. They're so much cooler than we are.
I brought my cameras out and I like filmed their set, and like I was actually watching that show.
They're so cool, man.
Yesterday. Like I was like, man, that was a pretty badass show.
Yeah, man, they're all fucking bros. All of those guys,
Yeah.
they're so sweet.
A couple of the dudes stayed with me and Lauren when they came up to play.
Every time they play too, like my dick feels like 2 inches smaller. Like,
It's because it is.
there's so much. Well, at least cooler than me. I don't know, man. Maybe cooler than all of us, but they're super gracious and just a hellacious band to watch live.
Yeah,
Like,
they put on a good show,
unbelievable.
and then they make you want to go to church the next day.
Which church?
Yeah,
I can honestly say I've never had that feeling.
well,
I've never had that compulsion. Yeah.
they're like the equivalent of what the closest thing we would get to like a Cradle of Filth type band.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah.
They're better than Cradle of Filth in my opinion. Yeah.
Really?
I mean, no shade if you like Cradle of Filth. Like
I love
that's fine. but,
Cradle
like,
of
I do
Filth,
too,
so
I was
they put on a show like them.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
To me, I'd rather listen to Haunted than Cradle of Filth. No shade
Okay.
for Cradle of Filth.
Haunted's
thought
like
we
a
were
mix
friends.
between like
Huh?
Cradle
I
of
thought
Filth
we
and
were
Deicide.
I think I was at that show. Is that the one dude was on stilts? Was that a dude on stilts?
He was like I don't know if it was
There was
still.
some gimmick. There was something going on.
He had like demonic. It was all demon themed.
Oh,
like
I know what you're talking about. Oh.
it was out back outside.
Yes, yes. I know
You
what
did
you're
come.
talking
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do
I
remember you
remember.
there. I ran into you there. That's right. And you actually asked me about this.
Yeah.
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 Fucking memories.
about.
They don't work
Brian
as
was
well when
got
you
a
get
damn good
older.
memory.
Right.
So, what's the worst show you guys have ever played?
Oh God.
Preferably without any specific places being stated.
Places, names, leave all that.
Man,
Just-
well-
Yeah.
just times you get
Well,
it.
like, luckily we haven't had too many bad shows. Like, all right, I guess the worst time would be the one show we didn't play. It was a Tampa Fest show or whatever, and we were slated to play at 11:30,
Mhm.
and 11:30 came, and the band before us was still on, and it was these kids called Mommy's Little Monsters.
Huh.
And they just took. First of all, they went on late. Everything was late, so like by the time they finished, they had drove everybody out. Like everyone thought it was cool at first, but by the time their set was over, which was way over, and like
Right.
they chased everyone was like, how they do here. Oh God, it's getting
Look at the time.
oh, see you guys. I'll see you at the next one, bro. So it was like almost 1:30 by the time we were gonna even be considered to go on, and there was like nobody there. So
Wow.
John was like, "Fuck it, I ain't playing." And so we had already like had our merch table set up all night, and we had been selling merch.
Yeah.
So we had already made more money just sitting there not playing than the money that they tried to give us for what
Oh wow. Yeah.
So like we were just like, all right, we're not gonna play this one, and they were like, we understand, and that was probably the worst time because it was
Oh.
Tampa. We drove 4 hours to not.
I ain't never experienced nothing that bad with you guys.
So no, you since you've been in the band, you got to play with Terry Butler twice. So
Yeah, all the shows I've played with you guys have been
it's
pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah.
Probably the worst one for me. I mean, when I say worse, like I've had fun at all of them. They've all been good experiences for me. But probably the first one because I had to learn songs real fast and I like fucked up a bit. But thankfully, like Freddie is just really he holds it the fuck down. I don't hear him make. At least as far as like the rhythms are concerned, I don't hear him make too many mistakes.
solos are another issue.
Well, you know, we all got our strengths and weaknesses. I'm not nearly as solid a rhythm player as Freddie is. Most of my, I'm all into like Jeff Loomis and
Yes.
Steinbach, Daryl. I like shredding and playing leads.
You're into guys that don't fuck up there, so.
Which means that I wouldn't be into my own shit because he was like, yeah, man, you know, I noticed you don't really fuck up your solos live, and I'm like, maybe that's because I fuck them up so consistently that you think that that's how it's supposed to go.
Hey, it sounds good and it's consistent. So.
I don't think I've ever nailed it 100% on stage.
Well, the cool thing is you haven't recorded anything yet, so there's nothing to be judged on.
So after we do the next record, then everyone will know that
then
I'm
the pressure's on if you'll be able to play your solos or not.
But like, I'm usually like I'm up there, I'm slinging my head, I'm moving around, you know, because if you want to hear it note for note, you pop in the fucking CD.
That's right.
Yeah,
you know,
that's right.
But I mean, that's what I did most of my time growing up. I didn't go to tons of shows. You know, I was mostly in my bedroom listening to records. But you know, when I do shows, I'm like, if they want to hear it perfect, they'll pop in the CD. But I want to give them a show, and so I'm up there. I'm trying to move.
Yeah.
I want to move. I want to be a spectacle. I want to give a show.
Yeah.
Takes the weight off.
Not
of
just a performance.
Like, dude, if you ever watch all the old Carrion, like, I'm the only one that fucking moves.
Yeah.
At least now with these new guys, like, you know, are you not entertained?
Like Freddie, you know,
we got him moving more now too. Now he's got long hair.
So,
the thing about Freddie is that he, you know, like he's not slinging his hat all over the place and all that shit, but he, like, I'm moving so much that, you know, I fuck up more than usual. And he kind of, like, he holds it down where it almost sounds like that didn't happen. So
he's a rock.
If you're not paying attention,
yeah,
you know, you're not going to notice it. So, you know, props to Freddie, man, for holding it the fuck down.
That video that we put up there, I made that with my oldest son in there with me. And I was playing it, and, you know, I was like, okay, I need a snippet of this. I'm going to play it. You know, I put it together. And my oldest son, Isaiah, he was here Saturday with us, but he was like, who's the guy with the guitar? Because all you see is this number. And he was like, and I started laughing, and I was like, do you like him? And he goes, you're pretty dope, Mom. I'm like, so I was like, you know, they're coming to the podcast on tomorrow night. And he goes, for real? And I'm like, yeah, are you want to tag along? He goes, no, I got GTA 5.
Yeah.
All right. So
yeah, I'm dealing
playing
with a
Cyberpunk,
13-year-old like that.
Nice. Yeah, he's really big into. He played Cyberpunk for a little while, but he's all about his Xbox recently. That driver's ed. So
the guys on the
but he likes
Keith Marrow Discord.
Cool. Hell yeah.
The guys on the Marrow Discord were like, a couple days before I joined, they were like, yeah, headless guitars aren't really metal. I don't know if you can look metal when you're playing a headless, blah, 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 blah. You know, that's my thing is headless.
I was going to ask you what I saw the clip. I was what guitar is that?
That's an NK, like initials NK.
Okay.
It's okay. So I know everyone shits on Chinese guitars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Mm-mm.
A lot of people do. A lot of people like to shit on Chinese guitars, but you know, I don't want to get too far into politics. That's not what this is about. But as much of an issue as I have with some of the shit surrounding that situation with their government, you know, that's people don't have anything to do with that. So, you know, they're just trying to feed their families, and I'm willing to give a company a chance.
Absolutely.
You know, if they make a good product. And I saw it wasn't a knockoff design. It was an original design. You know, of course it was derivative from Strandberg because every headless guitar on the market now is.
Right.
That's just how it works. But it was an original concept design. The reviews were good. And I was like, fuck it. It's $600. It looks fucking sweet. It looks beautiful.
It's fucking purple.
It's fucking purple.
Is that an 8-string?
No, it's a 7.
7? Okay.
So I pulled the trigger. I ordered it. And it showed up. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. This thing is so well put together. I couldn't believe it. It's a tank. The neck doesn't move. It always stays in tune.
Yeah.
I did replace the pickups, but even the pickups that came with it were good. Normally, pickups that come from China is like they sound like dog shit normally, but these were decent pickups. The fretwork, I paid for guitars twice this price, and I had to do fretwork on it. I had to do no fretwork on this whatsoever. So that's my baby.
What kind of bridge?
That's my fucking guitar. It's single piece headless bridge hardware because it's a fan fret.
Okay.
So you got to have an individual bridge piece for each one. So
Shannon's giving you props. She said, "Play what you want, bro."
Yep.
yeah, I know because I know like the whole metal thing is to you got to play a black guitar and blah 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 and this and that. I'm like,
Yeah, it has to be pointy.
it has to be pointy and
spikes.
yeah. I mean, Freddie plays giant heavy shit.
I mean, hell,
Like
look at John 5, playing a fucking Telecaster.
Yeah, well, I love tellies too.
Yes.
But for me, I'm like, it makes sense in an ergonomic sense, and because I'm not doing this to be like everyone else. I'm trying to be myself. I love this guitar. I don't care if it's metal or not. Like, it's fucking beautiful, and I'm getting more.
You have a good sound. You have a really good sound.
I'm a
Be
huge
gay if you gotta be gay, man.
I'm a huge fan of doing whatever it is that makes you happy. Play the guitar you want to play.
Yes.
Drink the fucking whiskey you want to drink, whether you're drinking it with a little bit of Coke or drinking it neat.
Lord Calvert.
Or Lord Calvert, right? Some scotch.
Yep.
Drink what you want to drink, play what you want to fucking play, and do it how you want to do it.
But it's funny you say that too, because to me, I've always seen metal as like kind of a counterculture movement.
It absolutely is.
Like a very like individualist sort of community. But as much as I love the metal community, at least locally, I've seen a lot of
elitism.
Well, sometimes I see elitism. I think that's a bit overblown. I think it's kind of sectioned off to certain places. I have seen the elitism, but I don't think people take those guys seriously.
No.
But I have seen a lot of like sameness, and they like the original guys that were doing this. They were trying to do something different. A lot of times they were just playing music that they wanted to play. They were being themselves. And then I see the next generation. They're like, oh, those guys are so cool. I'm going to copy them. Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, that goes against the whole concept that started with. They did, don't be like them.
Yeah.
Because that's not being like them. If you really want to have them as your role models,
I
being like them is the opposite.
I can absolutely relate to what you're talking about. I am a Metallica fan. Huge fan of James Hetfield. yeah, I know. And
hey, listen, James Hetfield. I don't look whatever the hell you think about him. I don't care whatever you think about Metallica's music.
I think he
James Hetfield is
95.
That's funny.
Important for the influence of metal rhythm guitar.
Yes.
For almost all the bands all of us are listening to today.
Yep.
Even if you don't think it is. Right. I don't care.
Dude, I was 12 years old coming across Metallica.
His playing is foundational anyway.
The point that I'm getting at is that he plays a lot of ESP Explorers, and I always saw him with the big fucking classic white Explorer. I was like, oh, I want to want the Explorer and everything. It's like, no.
Was that in the 80s too? ESP?
Okay, ESP in the 80s. It was Gibson. Thank you.
Gibson.
Yep. I think he switched over to ESP in the early 90s.
I did that exact thing with Dimebag. When I was
the ML.
I wanted to play the ML so bad, and then I got older, and I'm like, I got my own taste now.
I did have an ML.
They're sexy guitars, man.
Because they're just cool fucking looking guitars.
They're cool
and I found that I actually
guitars.
really liked how it felt. Like there's something about that wing on your fucking thigh that I don't know. It just works for me.
It looks so badass, man.
What's so funny?
No, just you nerds going back and forth. All right, carry on with the Metallica show.
Carry on.
Hey, we got off it. We got off it.
So that brings me to my last question is like just your writing process. With you having the type of guitar that you have and everything, what's your writing process like when you guys go to write?
Freddie kind of already has
Yep.
pre-constructed songs.
Okay.
And so, for instance, last practice we wrote a new song.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
And
wait, is this an
As a band?
exclusive?
Off the record exclusive. You heard it here.
Hey,
well, we're gonna start working on a new album this year, and we started
Nice.
by writing a new song.
Nice.
And Freddie had these riffs, and he kind of already had it, predetermined how.
Yeah,
because
because he just cranks shit out like crazy.
But he left a spot open for him to write something too.
Yeah.
that's cool.
And so
I never did that.
so basically last practice we started learning Freddie's song, and then we got to his section, and he gave him a little bit of time, and he fucked around and finally figured out something cool that would work, and he jammed on it with the drummer, and then we figured figured that whole section out in a really quick amount of time, which
It was pretty fast.
Fucking mad props on that. And so by the end of the practice, they were able to jam through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was at least able to record it with my camera going live, my phone going live on Facebook or whatever. So I was able to get the room recording of it, and then I was able to rip that, go back and fuck with it and put vocals to it. And so that way we have a really rough recording of the new song, just so that we can listen to it and
It
remember.
ain't too rough.
I mean, for
it's
what
decent.
it would, if we were a black metal band, we'd be able to
Oh,
put
yeah,
it out.
that'd be
it would be perfect for black metal,
Okay.
But for being death metal, we want to put a little bit of production quality too.
I always before I joined these guys, my process is I was always a DIY musician. I've been offered to join a lot of Tallahassee bands, no shade, but most of the time I just didn't join them because, quite frankly, I didn't really believe it was going anywhere. And if I'm gonna spend time on something like that, I want to believe in what I'm doing. Really, otherwise. For the most part, it's just me in my room. Most of my influences when I'm writing are not metal.
Yep.
I listen to a lot of classical music. I'm a music theory nerd.
No shit.
Big time. I'm a huge music theory nerd. I listen to recently it's been a lot of synthwave, but very underrated. Anything but metal when it comes to writing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Death to all but metal.
Shout out Steel Panther.
So I'll literally sit down and write with Guitar Pro, which is basically sheet music 2.0, and really sit and analyze every single little detail, which I'm almost envious of Freddie, because he just fucking goes for it, and he gets good shit. I wouldn't have joined the band if I didn't think the music was good, but I'm very I'll write everything on my own, and this writing with Carrion Curse is kind of a new venture
Right.
for me, and I'm really thankful for the opportunity. Anyways, I'm about full to bursting again because liquor fills my bladder.
Baby dick.
So what about the?
You dropped my shit.
What about lyrics?
All right. Well, Freddie will have a song with lyrics every now and then, but for the most part, I write all the shit.
Right. So how do you come up with those lyrics? Is it
Oh,
do they just come to you, or is it based on life experiences?
come to my head. I write a lot. I tend to write a lot of topics on. Well, I'm heavily inspired by the paranormal stuff, so I like a lot of there's some Carrion Curse songs that are based off of
I picked up on that.
ghost stories from Ghost Adventures and whatnot,
Yeah.
and so there's that element I like to bring into the band, so that way we're talking about something that everybody can relate to ghosts and death. I mean, maybe not the super crazy Christian people, but you know, like
Right.
everybody was like somebody had some kind of an experience, and like that's the kind of shit that I like to write about.
Right.
You know, like because when I'm dead, I'm probably gonna be a ghost, and I'm gonna just
Who would be the first person you would haunt?
Oh, I don't know. It depends on when I die. Because if I'm like an old man when I die, I might have like younger family members I could go fuck with. Yeah, like maybe like grandkids or some shit.
Okay.
We'll see.
So now I got to ask him this. So we were talking about how ghost inspired lyrics, right? And I asked him who would be the first person he would haunt. So who would be the first person you would haunt?
Who would be the first person I would haunt?
Our buddies in Haunted.
I don't know. It'd probably be.
Shout out to Cute Cuddly Kittens in Jacksonville. Badass grindcore band. Check them out.
It'd probably be my loved ones because we're in the South.
Right.
You guys probably relate to this. One of the ways that I show affection to people is by being a fucking asshole and fucking with them all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'd probably do like stupid shit like leave the toilet seat up or or like put cling wrap on it or
Little
something.
inconvenience.
Just piss them off to no end.
Take the batteries out of the remote.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yes.
This doesn't
feel
right.
And like you go to flush the toilet and it's just blood coming through. Like, damn it! Wait, stop with that creepy shit. Come on, man. I'm just trying to shit.
All right. So this is the last question I have. They might have some questions for you. The last question I have: if you could be on a festival, and let's say you made it, and somebody came up to you in charge of said festival and said, "Hey, you got 3 bands that you can choose to open for you. Who would you pick?"
Any band.
Any band, past, present.
Open for us, or we open for them?
Open for y'all. Y'all made it. Y'all are huge. Who would you want to open for you? Past, present.
Man.
Even if you could go back in time and have a ghost band on stage.
Well, now that you mention that, I'd have to say Neural Implosion would be one of them.
That's a good pick.
Do you remember that band?
I do.
Yeah, I miss that band. Scaphism.
No,
Yeah,
not us.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
terrible. You sent me that video clip yesterday, and I was like, nah, I ain't even watching it. That's awful.
But that band was sick.
But that goes along with your theme. Everything that we wrote about was a fucked up shit that people did to other people. That's what scaphism was.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
What was your vocalist's name?
Mars.
Mars?
Yep.
Where did he end up going to?
I want to say it went back to Missouri.
Misery.
I hear
Why would you move to a place named after misery?
I hear from Chris and Lance every once in a while.
Yeah, I talked to Chris not too long ago.
Yeah, he said he's going to start playing again.
Yeah.
Shout out Chris, get a hold of
Yeah, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
And then your drummer, he like lived down in Wakulla or something, or?
No, he was off of South Monroe.
Oh wow, he was a pretty badass drummer, man.
He was dope.
I'm surprised he never played with like 10 other bands like most good drummers do. Like,
Well, he had
Kill one drummer, kill the whole metal scene.
yeah,
pretty much, I mean, yeah, we all had our problems as well. We had, back then, video games were still a thing and shit. So
I mean they're more so now than ever.
I don't deal with that shit.
Yeah, this is what he spends his.
Hey
part of his time
man,
doing.
every man's gotta have a hobby.
He's got like
Mine's
80.
carrying curves.
Right.
He's got like 80 hobbies.
But like I got it to the point now I have I set up an online store for us on our .com, and like, dude, you might want to check out our yoga pants.
I have. I saw your post and I'm like, man, I literally put a thing in my phone to remind me to go on there. And
All
go
our
to
prices might seem high, but it's because it has shipping included.
Oh no, I'm totally buying a pair of yoga pants.
Boy, it's about to go up, man. Shipping's
Like-
about to skyrocket.
Oh, tell
Well,
me that.
they
Buying
already
them tomorrow.
they told me about that, and luckily I had already adjusted for it.
Mm.
So.
Okay, so I'm curious. I'm curious what your bands are.
Oh, I said Scaphism, Neural Implosion, and then Brigand.
Brigand.
Brigand?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be like, get them back. Be like, see, pussies, I told you.
Okay.
They're gonna laugh.
So
I'm just kidding. I love you guys.
bands open for it. Well, Pantera, of course, because they're my favorite, and also having Pantera open for you is a fucking power move.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
that's a
You're
that's
fucking
a
high.
that's a Chad Thundercock move right there.
Yeah.
Conquering Dystopia,
Oh.
and then yeah, because they were just fucking
heard that name in
incredible.
a long time. Wow.
Well, I mean, I'm a super Jeff Loomis fanboy.
Right. I just
and,
haven't and up until this podcast, I haven't heard that.
Well, you know what's funny about that group specifically is I was a fan of Keith Merrow and Jeff Loomis separately. Like I didn't know they were bros, and then they came together, and I was like,
I just nutted my pants.
my teenager self had to change my pants because you know it's,
This is my
not
favorite
all
band
them.
now.
So it's a Pantera because that's a Chad Thundercock move to get Pantera to open for you, Conquering Dystopia. And then if we're sticking in the vein of like what's traditionally considered metal, I would say Marty era Megadeth, or if we can be a little bit more loose with it, I would say Johann Sebastian Bach because that is my favorite composer.
Wow.
He is just
Damn,
listen.
cuz.
I've sat for hours and hours like connecting the dots with his sheet music and looking at the intricacies of like
Dude, you're
how he
blowing their
writes a
minds.
melody
You
and
should tell them how Jimi Hendrix
harmonizes.
sucks now.
Okay, so oh yeah, I thought I was about to get like my house burned down.
The last podcast we did.
Yeah. Okay, so I think Jimi Hendrix is an absolutely excellent songwriter, composer, improviser. And not only that, but I don't care who you are now, if you're playing rock and roll or hell, for that matter, like even rap and pop music is influenced by him now. You're influenced by him even if you don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he was that good of a guitar player. And usually when people say Jimi Hendrix, amazing guitar player.
He was all right.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he was kind of sloppy. But
man,
yeah,
I gotta introduce you to my coworker.
Don't dox me and burn my house down.
I hear what you're saying because if you go back and listen to those performances, especially during Woodstock, I mean, granted, there's no telling there's no telling how many drugs he was on at the
Yeah,
time.
that motherfucker was high.
But
as
yeah,
fuck.
no, his playing was a little sloppy. It absolutely was.
He's a little sloppy. Now, influence. I mean, you can't take it away.
No, you
I don't
certainly
care if
cannot.
you hate his guts.
Yeah.
I remember the Bait Shack show. Sorry.
Oh, the comment?
I was reading the comment.
I don't care if you hate his guts. I don't care if you are on a mission to burn every recording that he's ever put out.
What up, John?
And you just fucking hate Jimi Hendrix. But whether you like it or not, if you're playing rock and roll, any form of it these days, and I would classify rap as being influenced by that and pop music as well. If you're playing rock and roll these days, you're influenced by Jimi Hendrix even if you fucking hate him. I'm sorry.
I am because
sloppy
my
guitar
mom
player,
was.
but excellent music and incredibly influential.
Hey.
Yeah,
in my brain.
Up in the chat.
We got Remexis.
What up, dudes?
Say, hey, Brian. What up?
Yeah, and I think what you guys consider sloppy playing is playing with feeling. That's more of a
That shit drives me up the
thing,
wall.
so I don't.
That shit drives me up the wall.
Hey, weren't you the guy that said, "Yeah, I'm just going to give him a show"?
Yeah, well,
I fuck it up
Oh.
all the time. I'm
Yeah.
just going to give him a show.
I wouldn't
He
necessarily.
plays with feeling.
Oh, called out.
I wouldn't
called out.
say that would necessarily classify as just playing with feeling, bro. Look,
They did set his shit on fire. I mean, there is that.
that was cool.
That is pretty metal.
That was cool. So the fact of the matter is that
Fuck this guitar.
you know you only have so much bandwidth.
Yeah.
to concentrate on certain things. So when I'm up there, I'm like, okay, I'll sacrifice a certain amount of concentration for technique to become more of a spectacle. I don't really like. It's not really glamorous to me to sacrifice technique. It's just constant conscious choice. I'm choosing one over the other for a specific situation, which is to be more of a spectacle when I'm playing live. When I'm in my bedroom, because I'm a poser bedroom guitar player most of the time. When I'm in my bedroom, I'm really, really, really fucking serious about
Playing air guitar in his underwear.
man, I used to live just by myself. Playing in the living room naked is an experience that everyone should have.
Yes.
Especially when you break a string.
Baby D.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, does he suck as a guitar player because he did maybe a bit of what I did and, sacrificed some technique to be more of a spectacle? I don't know about that.
No.
They
And
called it LSD back then.
notice, I never said he was a crappy guitar player because, first of all, I don't believe that either. I think he was a good guitar player.
Well, let's put you
I don't
on
think he was
drugs
a
and see
great
how good
guitar
you
player.
are.
Yeah, we'll put his address in the chats later.
Oh.
If you guys want to find his house.
So I think there's a certain threshold with intoxicants, right? Especially like when I get drunk, there's a window of alcohol level where I'll probably play better, right? And then if I get past that threshold,
It goes really bad.
it's worse. It's way worse than if I was sober.
Right.
So there's a window. He probably
It's called
was way past that
moderation.
window.
Oh yeah, I do that shit with darts. I'm a hell of a dart player as long as I'm just drunk enough.
Yep. Hendrix was probably way past that window.
One too many, and I'm putting eyes out.
Hey, stand over there. Hold that apple up real quick.
Not a chance in hell.
Like, nah, man, I'm good. No, just do me a favor, bro. Be friends, right?
So
Just spit on
I don't have any other questions, but what are your guys' social where can everybody go and find Carrion Curse everything?
Well, if you just put it in Google, like it'll give you links to like our Facebook,
Bandcamp,
YouTube,
Spotify.
It's like the easiest
Instagram,
answer we've ever
Spotify.
gotten.
Well, yeah, because
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
That's
how
like the
many
easiest
other
answer.
bands have you had on here that has an original band name? That isn't like we're called Point Blank, but
Whoa.
but there's like
Whoa.
Oh, so there was a band on here called
Whoa.
Point Blank.
there was like
Not yet.
2 bands in town called Point Blank. at one point.
Whoa.
I think
Oh man, you went there. Oh.
I'm just saying, when you have an
Damn.
original band name that nobody else has, it makes it easier for people to find you.
That is true.
so.
And that was the point I was trying to make. I'm sorry if I made people's feelings hurt.
He hurt y'all's feels good. So yeah, Google Carrion Curse Tallahassee. You'll see everything. Go get those yoga pants, ladies. I'm getting some.
Yeah, their Facebook page is in the description.
Send
It
me
is.
the pictures.
Send all the yoga pants pictures to Carrion Curse for merch purposes.
And me too.
For merch purposes.
And me as well for scientific purposes.
For
There
the
you go.
scientific method.
Do it for science.
Oh no! Look at what. Oh, see, you
Oh.
just let anybody up in the son of a bitch. Don't
Look,
you?
here we go,
Thank you,
Ken.
Ken, what up,
I
Ken?
don't pay attention, but I know it when it comes to.
I would say moderation is up to the individual, honestly.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
it all depends on you and what you handle best. Some people don't handle alcohol at all.
Oh,
Or like
Oh,
and then you
man.
end up babysitting.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
That man. all
Yeah,
right.
story time.
Do y'all
Story
remember?
time.
Do y'all remember little fat Matt that used to? He was like he would walk. He would used to come to every Brigand show, and he'd always have like a cattle decapitation shirt on.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So we brought him over to like an after party or something
Mhm.
one night, and like
Oh, here we go. He's laughing.
we poured shots, and I forgot what it was, but Lauren poured him a shot and handed it to him, and like he took it, and like as he's coming up, you could just see the fear in his eyes.
Oh no!
and like it was like he went to go do it, and it said no, and he just started a projectile all over our kitchen.
No.
And dude, to this day, anytime I see him, he's like, "Dude, I'm so sorry about your."
Oh gosh!
It's like,
Poor
bro,
guy.
it's
Yep,
okay,
I've
man.
been there.
It's okay.
Not that exact situation,
It's
but
okay, man.
I've been the I'm sorry guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
we all
man.
have at some point.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was just like I'll never forget the it was like deer in the headlights. Like
So, can I share a I'm sorry story?
Yeah.
I don't believe I have told this to either of you guys. I just moved to Tallahassee. This is like 03. Our next door neighbors were having a party. They invited us over, invited me over, I should say. And they were just fucking forcing shit down my throat.
Oh no.
And I ended up drinking all their beer. Like, all right, well, you drink all of our beer. You want anything else? I'm like, I don't know. They I think it was Hypnotic.
You drank all of their beer.
Yeah.
They were forcing it down your throat.
Yeah, they were handing all the beer to me, and then that switched over. I want to say it was like some Hypnotic or some shit.
oh god.
Anyways, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, party was done, and I stumble upstairs in my room, and I mean, and by the way, I'm like 20 at this point. Only got drunk a couple times, and the room is fucking spinning and shit, and I ended up vomiting all over myself. My roommate has to work the next morning,
Oh no!
but I'm covered in vomit and can't fucking do anything about it. So John, had to wake up my fucking roommate, and he came and cleaned me up and took care of me.
Damn.
He wasn't late to work.
Yeah, and he had to go to work in like a couple of hours from that. So
You
Man,
want to hear a mom sorry story?
that's a good roommate.
Yes, we do.
So I was probably 18. Went to this house party. I'm from North Carolina, military family, so all my friends were having a party. They were all special forces and rangers, and one of them was getting out of the army, and he got his GI Bill, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'm buying the liquor."
Oh, fuck.
So he took his GI Bill. He got all the liquor, all the beer, bought kegs. I'm the only chick there besides one other girl, and she kind of stayed in her room because she lived in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a
So-
military party.
Pretty much. Sausage party,
Shout
yeah.
out Bravo Fisher.
So I sit there and I'm like, all right, well, fuck it. I know everybody here. They're all my buddies. They're all like big brothers to me. I'm like, so I'm good. I know I'm good. So I'm hanging out with my friend BJ. Shout out BJ, love you. And he was like my best friend. And then his 4 roommates who became very protective, big brother figures to me. And my ex calls me and goes, I know you're fucking BJ. And I went, I'm sorry, I'm what? That's like my brother, and that's gross. And so he's screaming at me, I'm sending my girlfriend over there to kick your ass. I know where you're at. I was like, whatever. So I started drinking all the fucking whiskey, which everybody that knows me knows that I get really mean when I drink whiskey. Really mean. Like I want to fight people for breathing wrong. And
Are
so
you Hispanic?
No. Irish.
Oddly enough,
Oh,
no.
there we go.
So,
Similar.
my buddy Ace, who's like the big brother, was like, "Okay, you need to stop with whiskey. Let's switch to beer." And I'm like, "That's a bad idea, but I'm down."
Couldn't you?
That's a
Right?
bad idea, but I'm down.
So I'm doing keg stands, and I'm pretty shitty. We're in the front yard, and the hill. From the road. There's a hill that goes up to the house.
Uh-huh.
So a car pulls up, and this chick gets out, and I'm like, at this point, I was like, "All right, fuck you, we're cool." So I'm like, "Hey, there's another girl," and I'm excited because I wasn't female no more. So I'm standing there and I have a beer in this hand and I have a bottle of Jameson in this hand. And so I turn
I
this
see
way.
where this is going.
And
don't
as I
like it.
turn back around, she sucker punches me in the face. Like flat out.
It was
just-
the chick
It
coming
was the
in.
girlfriend, yep. Come just sucker punch me in the face. I drop my beer and I am pissed now at this point. So all I hear is BJ goes, he's doing this to Ace and tapping him. He's like, go get Johnny, who was the biggest guy there. And he goes, tell Johnny to get Nate, who was the second biggest guy there. And they're like, go get Johnny, go get Nate. So I turn around and see her and I'm like, all right, so we're about to fight. So me and her get into it. She's on the ground. I'm straddling her chest and wailing on her. And Johnny and Nate come and pull me off of her. And she gets up on all fours, and she's like on all fours trying to get up. And I'm like, I'm fine, just leave me alone. So they back off. I soccer kicked her in the face. She went kind of rolling down the hill. BJ grabs me, throws me in the car. I don't remember the car ride home, and puked in his backseat.
Nice.
His brand new car.
Jeez.
Brand new.
Well, that'll
Mercedes
teach
car.
that girl. I'm gonna go beat up this girl. Yeah, the fuck you are.
I felt so bad because BJ just bought the car the day before.
And she sucker punched. Man,
Yeah.
she was asking for that.
Jeremy.
Man, you gotta watch out with that with women because women either like don't fight at all usually, or if they do, they fight like grown ass fucking men, and they are not afraid. They don't care if you're twice their size. Even if you win,
True.
you'll regret it the next day because they'll somehow fuck your ass up. Even if you manage to technically
Vengeance.
eke out a victory,
It's
they'll make sure you regret fucking with them.
Yeah, that's I felt horrible because when he dropped me off, I got out and I puked all in his back seat. I don't remember, but I puked all in his back seat, and he had just bought the car the day before.
Oh, damn.
So I did the whole like, I'm
Shit.
sorry, and I was like, you want me to like, I'll detail your car? He's like, I already cleaned it out. It's fine. He's like, I paid for somebody to do it. I was like, oh,
Damn.
okay. But that was my I'm sorry, sir. What about
Jeremy,
you, Jeremy?
I know you've got one.
I don't have one.
No, come on.
I tell
You're obviously confused and aroused.
He was waiting on that too. He's like, I'm gonna use this one. I just gotta wait for the right moment.
I never had to say
Bazinga.
sorry for not drinking.
Never. I don't
No,
believe
my
you.
lawyer would say it for me. I wouldn't have to say it. Shut up. Not say anything.
You have the
Please
right to
don't.
remain silent.
Please
I know, motherfucker.
I've held on a few things.
You
Actually,
gotta tell me.
Hey man, if you're gonna spew, just spew into this.
one summer when I was 16, I worked for a carnival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and got fucked up at one location. Mad Dog 2020 ended up 30 miles outside of town on the roof of a barn. Had to hitch a ride back with the
Holy
owners
shit.
of the property, and they're like, "Where did this white boy come from?"
Oh shit.
I kind of, sort of told them I'm sorry, trying not to throw up, but yeah.
Nice.
That's crazy.
But that's it. I'm pretty much an angel.
So we really want to thank you guys.
True story.
And the lie detector determined that was a lie.
He was waiting on that one too.
Yeah, it was. Well, thank you guys for being on Off the
Dude,
Record.
thank you
and
for having
it was
us.
a
Yes.
blast.
Yeah, that
You'll
was
have
great.
to come back.
Yeah,
Please
sure.
come back.
Yeah.
You gotta do more shots.
I mean,
Yeah,
hell,
shots,
with us practicing right around the corner. it's
Pre-
not-
Preferably not on a Monday night. But
Oh man.
no,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
shots on a Monday night.
Yeah, if we do
Yeah.
a Saturday,
Saturday.
because I live so close, I could actually get drunk.
Hell yeah.
Oh no.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So
But I might end up offending people if I do that.
Barbecue, March 12th. Check these guys out live. 14 bands. It's a free show, free food, killed kegs.
Free show.
Be
FREE free.
That's right. So there is no excuse. So bring your asses to Warrior on the River, Barbecue. Give everybody a shout out. Cameras over there.
That one. I didn't even
And-
know that was it.
Thanks for watching, guys.
I thought that was
Hey,
that one.
Before we go, you want to tell them what we got Wednesday?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
That's right. So Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we have another Barbecue band. Falls Chase is going to be in the house.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I
If
know.
you don't
Yeah.
show up for Barbecue, then fuck you, man.
That part.
I'm
That
Ricky
part.
Bobby.
Dude, this is the biggest goddamn event Tallahassee has. I'm so stoked.
Yeah.
Fucking sour
I'm
Christmas
so excited.
party.
We are the only band playing that probably doesn't sing.
I'm here for it.
You guys might be the only, dare I say, traditional metal band, like actual
Yeah.
metal band.
I'm here for
Metal,
it.
And I
though.
would
Yeah.
like to say thank you for being one of the few death metal bands that I can actually read the name of.
Yeah. That's how you know we're old school. We're not a rose bush band.
It's like
Hey,
fucking
nice
Rose
bush, bro. What do y'all call?
I got an outro button for Brian here, I think.
All right.
I don't really remember what this one says. Let's see what it says.
I'm gonna go call the psychic hotline. They'll know what to do.